Hello everyone, welcome you all in today's class. In today's class, we will discuss topic about the revolution of liberals. Behalf of our history chapter 1, the rise of nationalism in Europe. In previous video, we already discussed about the romantic imagination and national feeling and hunger, hardship and popular revolt. And this today's video is um, second part of video topic about the age of revolution. So let's start this video topic with the revolutions of liberals. In 1848, a revolution led by the educated middle classes was underway. Men and women of liberal middle class demanded creation of a nation state on parliamentary principles, a constitution, and freedom of association. So, students, parallel to the revolt of the poor, unemployed, and uh, starving peasants and workers in many European countries in the year 1848. A revolution led by the educated middle classes was underway. Events of February 1848 in France had brought about the abdication of the monarch, and a republic based on universal male suffrage had been proclaimed. In other parts of Europe, where independent nation state did not yet exist, such as Germany, Italy, Poland, the Austro-Hungarian Empire, men and women of the liberal middle classes combined their demands for constitutionalism with national unification. They took advantage of the growing popular unrest to push their demands for the creation of a nation state on parliamentary principles, a constitution, freedom of the press, and freedom of association. A large number of political associations came together in Frankfurt to vote for an all-German National Assembly. On 18 May 1848, 831 elected representatives marched to take their places in the Frankfurt Parliament, convinced in the Church of St. Paul. So, in the German regions, a large number of political associations whose members were middle class professionals, businessmen, and prosperous artisans came together in the city of Frankfurt and decided to vote for an all German National Assembly. Okay, on 18 May 1848, 831 elected representatives marched in a festive procession to take their places in the Frankfurt Parliament, convened in the Church of St. Paul. The constitution drafted of German nation was headed by a monarch subject to a parliament. The crown was offered to Frederick Wilhelm IV, King of Prussia, but he rejected it and joined other monarchs to oppose the elected assembly. The middle class dominated the parliament, and a large number of women participated in liberal movement. So the drafted a constitution for a German nation to be headed by a monarch subject to a parliament. When the deputies offered the crown on these terms to Frederick Wilhelm IV, King of Prussia, he rejected it and joined other monarchs to oppose the elected assembly. While the opposition of their aristocracy and military became stronger, the social basis of parliament eroded. The parliament was dominated by the middle classes who resisted the demands of workers and artisans and consequently lost their support. In the end, troops were called in and the assembly was forced to disband. So, women formed their own political associations, founded newspapers, and took part in political meetings and demonstrations, but they were still denied suffrage rights during the election of the assembly. Okay, so the issue of extending political rights to women was a controversial one within the liberal movement in which large number of women had participated actively over the years. Women had formed their own political associations, founded newspapers, and taken part in political meetings and demonstrations. Despite this, they were denied suffrage right during the elections of the assembly. When the Frankfurt Parliament convened in the Church of St. Paul, women were admitted only as observers to stand in the visitors' gallery. Though conservatives force were able to suppress liberal movements in 1848, they could not restore the old order. Monarchs were beginning to realize that the cycles of revolution and repression could only be ended by granting concession to the liberal nationalist revolutionaries. Hence, in the year after 1848, the autocratic monarchies of Central and Eastern Europe began to introduce the changes that had already taken place in Western Europe before 1815. Thus, serfdom and bonded labor were abolished both in the Habsburg dominance and in Russia. The Habsburg rulers granted more autonomy to the Hungarians in 1867. So, dear students, I hope you all understood today's topic, the revolution of the liberals. Next topic of this chapter, the making of Germany and Italy, we will discuss in our next video. Thank you for watching.